It all began with understanding DNA, one of the fundamental building blocks of life. While humanity has searched for ways to increase processing speeds with silicon-based computers for years, nature already harbored a magnificent information processing system within itself: DNA. DNA not only carries genetic information but also acts as a remarkable biological machine that stores and processes data. Moreover, this system is incredibly efficient in terms of energy consumption. Although DNA in a cell occupies little space, it can potentially store petabytes of data. This realization sparked a new question in the scientific world: why not use biological structures like DNA as computers? Traditional computers face physical limitations. As transistors shrink further, quantum effects come into play, increasing processing errors. Moreover, these machines consume more and more energy. Meanwhile, humanity is experiencing a data explosion. The amount of data produced per second is pushing the limits of existing systems' storage and processing capacity. While silicon-based computers struggle to keep up, the alternatives offered by nature are becoming increasingly attractive. Biocomputers built on DNA and cells offer hope for overcoming this bottleneck. However, there's a crucial difference with nature's miraculous processors: their nutritional needs. The biggest difference between biocomputers and classical systems is that they meet their energy needs not only through electricity, but also via nutrients. Since cells are living organisms, they require sugars, amino acids, and other organic molecules as energy sources. A cell breaks down sugars like glucose to produce a chemical energy unit called ATP. Biocomputers follow the same path. To perform a process, they use this biochemical energy. Just as a human cannot gather energy without eating, biocomputers cannot operate without nutrients. In this regard, biocomputers act like biological factories. They need energy to process and need nutrients to produce energy. This nutrient source must be delicately balanced. Too much harms the cell, too little halts the process. A biocomputer requires not only a DNA strand, but also all the biochemical infrastructure of a cell. Thus, working on biocomputers also means feeding the organism, controlling environmental conditions, and monitoring the health of the cell. The need for nutrition brings new opportunities. For example, the nutrients you provide to a biocomputer can determine which information is processed or what outcome is obtained. Thus, food can serve not only as energy, but also as a control mechanism. This makes biocomputers more alive and dynamic than classical computers. Each is, in a sense, a system that can make its own decisions, self-repair, and adapt to changing conditions. With these features, biocomputers have the potential to revolutionize medicine. When microscopic biocomputers are injected into the human body, they can take their nutrients directly from molecules inside the body, enabling them to operate for long periods without external intervention. For example, biocomputers that detect a rise in blood sugar can interpret it as an early sign of diabetes and intervene accordingly. Or they can detect different molecules secreted by tumors and relay this information to other cells or doctors. For these devices, the body's own metabolism serves as the nutrient source. Thus, there's no need for external batteries or cables. DNA-based data storage is also part of a nutrition-dependent process. While DNA itself can remain passive as a storage medium, reading, copying, or writing information requires biochemical reactions, and these need nutrients and energy. Therefore, considering DNA as a hard disk can be misleading. Yes, data can be stored for a very long time, but to access or update it, a cellular system or biochemical processes must be involved. This brings with it the vitality and fragility of the process. The more biocomputers are fed, the longer they can process. But overfeeding or incorrect nutrients can disrupt the cell's metabolism and cause the system to fail. The potential of biocomputers in artificial intelligence is also astonishing. Our brain is the world's most advanced biocomputer in terms of energy efficiency. With just the energy from a few bananas, we can perform far more complex operations than giant supercomputers. Thus, AI systems powered by biocomputers could meet their energy needs from natural sources like sugar in a sustainable way. This opens the door to a future where AI could become a nourished, living mind. While classical computers need an electrical outlet to operate, biocomputers can work for hours with just a drop of glucose. Of course, it's not all that simple. Feeding living systems not only supplies energy, but also brings environmental sensitivities. Heat, pH levels, and toxins can affect the efficiency of biocomputers. Therefore, the environment of biocomputers must be carefully controlled. Additionally, The hacking risks of biocomputers are not only digital, but biological. If malicious software can alter the metabolism of a biological system, it will require a complete rethinking of biosecurity. Biocomputers do not just process information, they grow, feed, reproduce, and sometimes die. This makes them both fragile and unique. In the future, computers will be evaluated not just by their processing power, but also by what nutrients they are fed and how long they can live. One day, instead of supplying energy to our computers with electricity, we might prepare nutrition solutions. Cellular health indicators may become more important than processor temperature. At this intersection of knowledge and life, humanity stands at the threshold of a new era, the age of living computers. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.